Welcome to the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. Here we are in Week 10. We're going to be with you. I'm Doug Weischadle, Dave Weischadle too. We're going to be here throughout the entire regular season, through the playoffs, through the Super Bowl, I guess even the Pro Bowl too. I guess we're going to be talking about that at some point.
I don't ever remember talking about the Pro Bowl.
Not a lot of people talk about the Pro Bowl.
It's not an
too
actual
much.
game.
It's a 7-on-7, 50-yard flag football
quarterback
game.
threw a ball into a bucket.
Well,
Hey,
that's
how
the
about
skill
that?
games.
Yeah.
I actually watched some of the skill games here and there, but needless to say, we're going to be here all the way through to the Super Bowl. We're going to be doing our look back this week as well as our look ahead for Week 10. It's already Week 10 already. Wow, we're starting to see some of the teams doing their positioning and everything else. We're starting to see who's really, really bad, who's decent, who's good.
The teams that are trading away their pieces are,
yes,
I guess, have put up the white flag for the season.
And once again, the Eagles have been some of the busiest traders.
Sure.
Howie
Roseman does what he does.
Mostly defense, I've seen.
Well,
they got Michael Carter from the Jets.
Defense wins championships. So.
Yeah. Well, they need it because their defense has been kind of bad, especially in the secondary. But we are here getting into Week 10, and we have not only another injury to talk about that was massive for the Washington Commanders, we also have a record to talk about. I guess the injury, Washington Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels had a dislocated elbow.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the game, and it was needless. He shouldn't have been playing.
Well,
a lot of criticism.
It's I hate to see the injuries, especially with teams that had high hopes coming into the season, but it's terrible. And we had the Giants last week, the Washington Commanders this week, and it's just awful to see. Well, and they're disgusting injuries to watch. You try not to look at them, and because they're just awful to see. So.
Well, it's kind of. I have never seen dislocations in 2 consecutive weeks.
Oh,
one an ankle,
sure.
One an elbow. I'm sure it's happened in the past,
sure.
but I don't remember it offhand.
Not this severe and not this graphic, and it's just awful to see.
And 2 weeks in a row, the broadcast crew wasn't going to show it.
Well, and I'm glad they did.
And because the Jaden Daniels one was really really weird looking. The way it dangled after he fell on. I'm
getting shivers thinking about these things. So I hate talking about it. I hate seeing it more, and God.
Well, at least the Jacksonville Jaguars will not be looking for a new kicker because their kicker, Cam Little, set a new NFL record for a 68-yard field goal.
It's shocking to watch just from where he had to set up. We always joke, he's kicking from the logo. He was on the second part of the logo. He was way back there just to see where they lined up. And this is the year for the kickers. All you got to get them is around like 55 yards. That's almost a gimme for a lot of these kickers. So,
he beat Justin Tucker, held the record up. He did that back in 2021. Didn't last long. Mm-hmm. I think the record before Justin Tucker lasted at least 20 years or so, maybe 30.
Was it Jack Dempsey or something like that? It was he had part of his foot amputated.
He was born without toes on his foot.
Oh, he was born like I didn't know if that was like a war injury or what was going on with that. But no, he had an interesting. I think he was a straight ahead kicker too. Yeah. I think they all were straight ahead kickers back then. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just absolutely incredible. I know they changed the rules. They have. They can keep their balls.
K-balls.
So that must have some
has a lot
bearing
to do
on
with it.
So
has a lot to do with it.
It's absolutely incredible.
Because Dempsey used a game ball, and I think Tucker was one of the first ones.
I'm talking about even 2 years, 3 years ago. They're just kicking better than they had 2 or 3 years ago.
I'm just saying
it's absolutely incredible.
The K-ball has changed a lot. When they have specialized balls just for the kickers, that has changed the kicking game an awful lot, and we're seeing it now.
Yeah,
as they're getting longer and longer. I don't know if it's a stronger leg or if it's just the balls are making that much of a difference. Maybe it's a combination.
Yeah, probably everything involved. It's the rules with the kicking balls and the nutrition and the fitness programs and the training. So it's evolving and this is the result. It's absolutely incredible kicks from these players.
Well, like I said, we just finished out Week 9. Like we saw the record field goal. We saw the injured quarterback. Let's find out what else happened in Week 9.
Hey, what happened?
Starting off, I guess you got to say here come the Baltimore Ravens, because they have now won 2 straight after starting off 1-5.
Mm-hmm.
Only 4 teams since the 70 merger has made the postseason after such a beginning. However, since 1990, 21 teams that have started out 3-5, which is what they are right now, the Baltimore Ravens, have advanced to the postseason.
Oh, I think
so. Their odds have increased.
They have
greatly.
a great chance. They have
Yes.
a great chance.
Bengals did something very unique. The Bengals in Week 8 allowed a running back to throw a touchdown pass against them. In Week 9, they had a wide receiver throw a touchdown pass
The
against them.
Bengals defense is mind-numbingly bad, and it's even worse. They traded away their best linebacker or their best player on defense. So it should be interesting to watch the Bengals defense from here on, because they got worse.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe they got worse, but they got worse.
Last time...
And by the way, that's one of those teams that just are waving the white flag.
You'll
right
like
now.
this one. The last time a team allowed a passing TD by non-quarterbacks in consecutive games were the 92 Dallas Cowboys.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. And also, speaking of bad defense, Bengals defense in the last 2 weeks, 86 points over 1,000 yards. Keep that in mind when you're looking at your betting purposes for total yardage.
And by the way, who's ever injured right now, just sit them, because this year means nothing. Don't make a quarterback change, or don't bring anyone back from injury, because the Bengals are just waiting to run out the season.
And I hate to keep bringing up the NFC East here. We have the Bengals, first team since the 66 Giants.
Yeah.
To score 38 or more points in consecutive games and lose both.
I'd be shocked. To what I was saying, I'd be shocked if they brought back Burrows. I mean, Burrow. Yeah. I mean, there's no way that they should bring back him for the year.
No, not with what they're doing right now. Yeah, Sunday's game between the Jaguars and the Raiders. First game in NFL history that had multiple touchdowns scored in an overtime period.
Mm-hmm.
Saw the most points scored in an overtime period as well, with 13 points in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a odd stat to have there.
Yep.
Prior to Monday night's win against the Cowboys, Arizona had lost 5 straight by a combined margin of just 13 points. All 5 losses coming within the last 4.5 minutes of the game. That's a tough stat to deal with. But they got off that with the win over the Cowboys. So that was actually a good showing by Jacoby Brissett, by the way. They got a couple issues with their quarterback to look at, because they perform so much better with Brissett than they do with Kyler Murray back there. But anyway.
Well, yeah, no, that's a decision coming up. Yeah. So
Coach has already said he's sticking with Murray when he comes back. He's
coach has
to
to say that, with that whole that axiom that you don't lose your job to injury, which, by the way, is crap.
Yeah.
I mean, just ask Drew Bledsoe that, or whatever, whoever got knocked out, and so it's they have an interesting situation coming up when Murray's back to health. So,
well, that's it for the teams. Let's find out what happened with players in Week 9.
What happened?
Got a whole bunch of different stats to talk about from Week 9. We've got Christian McCaffrey setting an NFL record with his 16th game, both rushing and receiving scores. Broke a tie with Marshall Faulk. McCaffrey also broke a tie with Jim Brown.
Wow.
And Priest Holmes, another Hall of Famer there, for the most career games with at least 100 rushing yards, 1 rush touchdowns, 50 receiving yards, and 1 receiving touchdown.
And we're talking about injury. That's a beat-up Giants defense. So, and by the way, that's the one game I won this week. So way to go, 49ers.
Yes. J.J. McCarthy, Vikings quarterback from time to time when he's not hurt. He joined Hall of Famer Dan Marino and Patrick Mahomes as the only quarterbacks drafted in the first round to win 2 road divisional games over their first 3 career starts since 1970.
See, that's a great trivia question, because you would never think of J.J. McCarthy with the likes of Dan Marino and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So, interesting.
Justin Herbert. I almost said San Diego Chargers. Los Angeles Chargers quarterback. He passed Matt Ryan for 5th most passing yards by a player in their first 6 seasons.
Okay.
We have also, I got a whole bunch of notes here. Matthew Stafford, 4th player in NFL history to have 20-plus passing touchdowns, 2 or less interceptions in their team's first 8 games of a season. Good company. Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady. Brady and Rodgers both did it twice.
Okay.
Bills' Josh Allen, 47 career games with one or more passing touchdowns and one or more rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, I saw that.
Most in NFL history.
Yeah.
Seattle's Sam Darnold. I still can't believe that I'm going to say this. He joined Tom Brady as the only player since 2000 with a touchdown pass and no incompletions on each of their team's first 4 drives of a game.
Wow. Okay.
That's a very, very interesting stat.
He found new life. I mean, first off, he found new life with the Vikings,
and
now here with the.
And you know what? Looking back, that was a smart decision. Darnold leaving the Vikings. I know he wanted to stay.
Well, I mean, but the smarter one is he got out of the Jets situation. So good for Darnold.
Here's another stat for him. He joins Johnny Unitas.
Wow.
He had 3 incomplete passes in the game. He joins Johnny Unitas as the only quarterbacks in the Super Bowl era with at least 325 passing yards, 4 passing TDs, 3 or fewer incomplete passes, and 0 sacks in a single game. Talk about being in good company there.
Yeah, absolutely. Darnold's doing amazing. So.
And we got Caleb Williams.
Okay.
He joins Walter Payton as the only 2 players in the Super Bowl era that have caught multiple passes and thrown multiple touchdowns in the same game.
Okay.
That's an interesting trivia question there.
That's a great trivia question.
Also, Williams is the only player with at least 3 passing touchdowns and multiple receptions in a single game. He joined Nick Foles as the only players with at least 250 pass yards, 3 touchdown passes, and a touchdown catch in a single game. Nick Foles did it in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, so kind of interesting there. And we've got a Mike Ditka reference here coming up.
Okay. As a player or a coach?
As a player.
Okay, all right.
Chicago's Colston Loveland is the first Bears rookie tight end with 100 or more receiving yards in a single game since Hall of Famer Mike Ditka did so 5 times in 61.
Interesting.
So that is a very interesting stat right there. That's a nice trivia question there. That's it for the players. Let's find out what happened with us.
Hey, what happened?
Well, another poor showing by us. We're showing we are not experts in this field of sport.
Well, look, a lot of people picked Detroit. I know Detroit was a big contest pick, so I don't know what the stats are for the contests out there in Las Vegas, but I'm sure I'll look at them and hear about them because that was a big pick by a lot of players. And, the Colts were doing great until we picked them. So, so those were the 2 games we had in common, and we lost both of those. The only one I won was I went with the 49ers over the Giants. I think they won by 10.
I went with Denver over Houston, and I had to wait. Like everyone does with Denver. You have to wait until the 4th quarter.
Wait till the last 5 minutes of the game with Denver. So.
For some reason, they wake up at that when, I guess they got to have that threat of an imminent loss before they actually start playing with some urgency. I mean, I think they've only had 1 game this season where they got off to a fast start, and that worked out better for them. But, for them to still have that 4th quarter magic, that's pretty cool. We went 1 and 2. I still got a 2-game lead over you.
Okay. You're in catching distance from me. So
Well, it's still.
I have 1 good week. I know what's going to happen. So.
Like I said, last year we had this entire situation until the playoffs, and then I had a losing record in the playoffs, and you took off in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So marathon, not a sprint. That's it for us, and also our season-long records are on the blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog, you'll see them there. We'll be, that's our look back at Week 9. We're going to look ahead at Week 10 with some of our picks. Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show, back after this.
In a moment of need, every second counts. So first responders, delivery drivers, and visitors can find your home fast, even in the dark. This is about more than just a number. It's about safety, visibility, and peace of mind. We created a house number that is not only a beacon of safety, but also a work of art. Crafted from durable stainless steel and waterproof acrylic, with efficient, low-voltage LED backlighting, it's uniquely yours. Choose from 6 sizes, 4 fonts, and 6 colors, and match your home's mood with bright, neutral, or warm white halo lighting. Add dusk to dawn, dimming and timing controls for complete command.
Every order includes free worldwide shipping, plus a 2-year warranty on lighted numbers and all powering accessories.
This is the ultimate home upgrade, a perfect blend of style, quality, and function.
Buy yours today.
Smoked cocktails have never been easier to make thanks to our Halo Drink Smoker. Simply place a cocktail smoker on your glass, light the wood chips until they start to smoke, and then top it off with the lid to infuse your drink with a delicious, new, smoky flavor.
Hey, Dave Weischadle from Turnpike Sports. I just got my dugout mug delivered and I am loving it. Dugout mugs are mugs made out of baseball bats, and they are officially licensed by Major League Baseball so you can get your favorite baseball team's logo on your mug. Just think of it, enjoying your favorite drink while watching your favorite baseball team with your team's logo on your mug made from a baseball bat. They can even make customized mugs. Check out the mug they made for Turnpike Sports. I mean, just look at that. That looks awesome. I've never seen anything like them. If you go to dugoutmugs.com, you'll find out they even make more things than mugs. They have baseball board games, grilling equipment made from baseball bats. They even have a section for gifts for under $30. Head on over to dugoutmugs.com because if you're a baseball fan or need a gift for a baseball fan, you have to check out Dugout Mugs. And use our promo code PIKE at checkout to get 20% off your purchase price. That's promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E. Also, free shipping with orders over $99. You can't beat that. DugoutMugs.com. That's my go-to place if I need a gift for a baseball fan. Well, if you excuse me now, the game is about to go on, and the wind is just right for drinking.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We just finished our look back at Week 9, both for the NFL teams, the professionals, and for me and Dave, the amateurs, doing all this. We are now looking ahead to Week 10, and this is where we present our picks and analysis for 3 games each every week. We're playing against each other season long, all the way through the regular season, playoffs, through the Super Bowl. And we use Caesars midweek lines, Caesars Sportsbook. Head on over there. They got a brand new offer for customers, and I'm going to read it to you right now. Football is back, and Caesars is game day ready with a great offer for new customers. Place your first bet of $1 or more and instantly get 100% profit boosts up to $25 max bet per boost. Register now at Caesars.com/sportsbook-n-casino with promo code PIKE20X to get that special offer. Remember, terms and conditions apply. 21 and older. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. I read that perfectly this week.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow, what's wrong with me? Anyway, like I
said...
Technical
difficulty.
Yes, right. This is when it'll be all static.
Yeah, right.
But here we are. We're looking ahead, Week 10, 3 games each, point spreads and totals only. We do not do money lines. And what we're going to be doing, like I said, Caesars midweek lines. So please check the lines before you place the bet. We're taping this midweek with the midweek lines. We release it later in the week. They will change at times. Some will, some won't, depending on who's injured, who's not playing, what have you. But always check the lines, and always bet with your head, not with your heart. And let's get going with our Week 10 picks. First game of the week for me and for us, since we have this game in common. Luckily, this is the only game. After 2 straight weeks of having 2 games in common, we're back down to the 1 in common or none in common. This week, it's a 1 in common.
I got to tell you, I was looking for games that I didn't think you would take because I got to gain some ground on you. So, because this is a competition between me and you. So, I'm glad we only have 1 game. I mean, I hope beyond hope next week we don't have any games in common, but I found out we have 1 game in common. Well, but even though we have 1 game in common, I don't know what side you took or if you did the over or under or whatever. So even though we have the same game, you might not have the same pick as me.
Well, the game we're talking about right now is the New York Giants at the Chicago Bears. Chicago is favored by 3.5 at taping time. There's an over-under of 47.5. Now, one thing I looked at with this game was I'm not expecting Chicago to score 47 points like they did against Cincinnati last week. The Giants have a much better defense than what the Bengals have right now.
Everyone has a better
Everyone's
defense.
Got a better defense than the Bengals right now. New York has lost 3 straight, but they're 4-5 against the spread this season. They're 2-3 against the spread on the road, which they are here. Oh, and they lost this guy, Cam Scatterbo. You know, that was really providing a nice offensive spark along with Jackson Dart. So they're down a really good running back, really good offensive weapon. Here, the Bears are 2-1 against the spread at home, and they're in the playoff hunt mode. They've been improving very quickly under Ben Johnson's watch. They're finding ways to win. They're finding ways to cover.
I don't like where this is going.
Yes, and Jackson Dart
no.
does not have a lot of weapons to deal with here. So I think with a limited New York Giants offense, and they could surprise me with some trick plays, some other stuff going on there, but the way Chicago has been improving week to week, I got to go Chicago and lay the 3.5. I almost said 5.5. 3.5.
Okay. Yeah, I went with Chicago also, but listen to this. I was looking at this game, and I was stunned at this first point I found. Check out how big home field advantage is. The home team has won each of the last 8 games between the Giants and the Bears. Okay, if that wasn't enough to like make you lean toward the Bears, here's some more stuff. The Giants have lost each of their last 9 games as road underdogs and have failed to cover the spread in each of their last 5 games in November. And guess what? We're in November, everyone. Meanwhile, the Bears have covered the spread in 7 of their last 8 games as favorites. I hate agreeing with you, but I'm taking the Chicago Bears as well.
All right, let's head on over to the second game of the week, which we do not have in common.
Yay!
Second game of the week for me, the New Orleans Saints are at the Carolina Panthers. Carolina's favored by 5.5. That's where that 5.5 came from. Carolina's favored by 5.5. The over-under is 39.5 at taping time here. Carolina comes into Week 10 having won 4 of their last 5 games, including that upset over Green Bay last week. The Saints, on the other hand, lost their 4th straight game, falling to 1-8 on the season. Carolina's 6-3 against the spread this season, 3-1 against the spread at home, which they are here. They're facing a rookie quarterback for the Saints. He made his first official start last week, and he did show some promise with the downfield ball. He did stretch the field a little bit more than Spencer Rattler did, and it was really nice to see that. But then again, they're the Saints right now. The Saints are not a good football team. Is this a trap game for the Panthers? Well, you know, the Panthers are facing a Saints defense that's been allowing 129.4 rushing yards per game. Mm-hmm. So if they continually feed Rico Dowdle, you're going to be seeing the Carolina lay the 5.5 and win that game.
That might be a prop game, against New Orleans. These terrible defenses, these are prop games.
Oh, yeah.
If you're playing the Bengals defense, it's a prop game. Yeah. It's if you're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, usually it's a prop game. But it's interesting. But my next game is the Detroit Lions, who are favored by 8.5. At the Washington Commanders with an over-under of 49.5. Remember last week I said I was very nervous about going with the Detroit Lions? Mm-hmm. I think we both went with the Detroit Lions.
Yes, we did, and I did not do it this week.
It was 8.5, and it was 9, and and it turned out it bit us on the butt, Mm-hmm. And so what am I going to do this week? Exactly the same thing. I'm taking the Lions and laying the points. I'm looking at this game and I'm reading this and it's like, the Lions have won each of their last 12 games as favorites following a loss and have covered the spread in each of those 12 games following a loss. Meanwhile, the Commanders have lost 7 of their last games in November. Also, the Commanders have failed to cover the spread in each of their last 6 games as underdogs following a home loss, and boy, are they injured coming into this game.
Lost their quarterback.
God, you hate to go with the home dog with a spread this big, but I mean, Detroit Lions, after that loss last week, I'm looking for them to get back on track, and I think they're going to win and also cover this spread.
All right, let's head on over to the last game of the week. Last game of the week for me, the Arizona Cardinals at the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle's favored by 6.5 points, just over a touchdown. Mm-hmm. There's an over-under of 45.5 points here. Seattle comes into the game. They have won 3 straight, 6 of their last 7. The Seahawks are 6-2 against the spread. That's an amazing number right now. Yeah. But they're only 2-2 against the spread at home. They don't have a great time at home. Arizona, on the other hand, and I found this stat just mind-boggling, they're 4-0 against the spread this season. On the road.
They very interesting team, very interesting quarterback situation. That bears watching to see how that shakes out a bit. So interesting game.
All 5 of Arizona's losses have been by 4 points or fewer. They even played Seattle earlier this year and lost only by 3, 23-20. I love watching Sam Darnold play this kind of ball because I liked him when the Jets drafted him way back in 2 other lifetimes for him. But again, as much as I like watching him, I'm going to stay with Arizona to keep it close. Once again, against the Seahawks, I'm going with Arizona plus 6.5.
All right, my last game is the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Los Angeles Chargers, who are favored by 3 with an over-under of 45. I think this is going to be a fun game to watch because both quarterbacks have a lot of ability to put points on the board, but the defenses aren't that great. I mean, let's take a look at the Chargers. Their last 4 games have gone over the total points line. In fact, both teams are 6-1 to the over in their last 7 games combined. And also defenses, as I said, not been playing very good lately. They allowed 45.8 points per game combined for the last couple of games. So I think this one has a great chance of going over the 45 points the books have put on it because, look, like I said, I like both quarterbacks. Not crazy about the defenses, so I think this one might be a shootout. So I'm taking the over.
All right, those are our 3 games for the week, and those are for Week 10. We'll be right back to recap and close out the show. Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show back after this.
Sign up at jackpot.com and you can bet on the world's best lotteries where the biggest jackpots are up for grabs. Powerball, Mega Millions, some of the biggest lotteries can be found at jackpot.com. Simply choose your lotto game, pick your numbers, or use their quick pick feature, and you're done. Sign up at jackpot.com with code DRAW24 and get a free lottery ticket with your first deposit. Jackpot.com, it's the world of lotto in your hand.
Terms and conditions apply. You must be at least 18 years old and in the United States to play. Void where prohibited. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome back to the Pro Football Show. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. This is the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. We just did our Week 10 picks and analysis after we did our Week 9 look back. Why don't we recap for everybody? Go ahead, Dave.
All right, I'm taking the Chicago Bears and laying the 3.5 points against the New York Giants. I'm taking the Detroit Lions, God help me, laying the 8.5 points against the Washington Commanders. And I'm taking the over 45 points in the Steelers-Chargers game.
I went with Chicago and laid the 3.5. I went with Carolina, laying the 5.5 against the New Orleans Saints, and I went with the underdog Arizona Cardinals plus 6.5 against the Seattle Seahawks. Those are our picks. They'll be on the blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog button. You'll see them in print form there. Feel free to comment on the blog. Feel free to email us info@turnpikesportsradio.com. Comment with us on social media at Turnpike Sports, at Turnpike Bets on Twitter or X, whatever you call it. Instagram, Turnpike Sports Radio, and Facebook is Turnpike Sports. Now, before we get out of here, I want to address something. We just had the trade deadline. We didn't have a chance to talk about beforehand.
Yeah.
And my Jets did something incredibly upsetting to some parts of the Jets fandom. A lot of people liked it. Most people that I'm seeing, the fans hated it because they got rid of Quinn Williams to the Dallas Cowboys, and they got rid of Sauce Gardner to the Indianapolis Colts. By the way, I agree with both those moves.
Look,
I love what the Jets have done. They are doing something different for a change. They're doing something smart. We're seeing the beginning now, 10 weeks in to the Aaron Glenn era of Jets coaching. He jettisoned the people that were from the Robert Saleh era, the previous regimes, all that stuff, cleared up a lot of money, loaded up with draft picks.
Loaded up.
And quite honestly, if you look back at the 2 players they got rid of, Sauce Gardner was not a game changer. He had too many penalties. He only had 1 interception over the last 2 years. He had not many good days on the field. Quinnen Williams, I love him, was not a very impactful pass rusher since about 2022. I mean, he's been overpaid in my eyes for the last couple of years. And again, I thought he was a great player for the Jets, but it's time to move on. I got a little fed up with Quinnen Williams when he was disappointed when the Jets got rid of Aaron Rodgers, and that showed me that he wasn't happy in New York anymore. Came out just recently, he had made 3 trade requests, and they kept it quiet, which
Okay.
was nice to see no leaks. That was fine. I love seeing that. But again, I think the Jets made the right moves here.
I think they made some very difficult business decisions that will put them in a great situation in the coming years. So, it's the sting of the Band-Aid being pulled off, but, I think it's for the best long-term for the Jets.
And they kept Garrett Wilson. That was the important piece of that trio that people were looking at. But moving forward, you got to do it. Freed up a lot of cap space now. Got a lot of draft capital. They don't have to draft a quarterback. They can use some of that draft capital to trade for one, too.
They have options.
They have a lot more options.
They gave themselves options. So, it's a difficult decision getting rid of some of your star players or some of your faces of the franchise. But you know what? What's best for the team, I think, was done by the front office of the Jets.
And while you got 3 first-rounders, a second-rounder, and 2 decent young players. By the way, one of the other stories that came out, the receiver they got from Indianapolis torched Sauce Gardner in the game they played against each other, and he was the second choice for the Jets. They went with Malachi Corley first before they chose this kid. They chose the wrong receiver. But anyway, that's it for the Turnpike Sports Pro. I'm off my
as a
soapbox.
Jets fan, you had to unload that, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, it's been building.
Oh, boy.
It's been building.
See, this is why we do this. It's cheaper than therapy for you Jets
I'm
fans.
seeing too many
There you
stupid
go.
comments about the Jets making mistakes because there are no mistakes when you're one
I'm a
team.
I'm a neutral observer, and I like what they did. I
love what they did.
love the position they're in for the future.
Yep.
They have options. They have now they have to make smart decisions with it.
They got to hit on the picks.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
doesn't absolve them from missing the picks.
Yeah,
So they got to hit on those picks. And again, I like Aaron Glenn's style. I like what he's doing with his team. It's a nice way to approach the team. Ground zero, start again. Different. It's a rebuild, different type of rebuild this year, and you got to think about it that way. Anyway, that's it for the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Show. I'm off my Jets soapbox there.
You feel better?
Oh, much better.
You feel better?
Much better.
All right.
Feel free to comment on my Jets take, too.
Yeah.
Info at turnpikesportsradio.com on the social media, wherever you see it. Love hearing from everybody, especially my fellow Jets fans out there. So please, info at turnpikesportsradio.com, and we'll be back next week with a new show.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike. Good luck, everyone.